New at 10 with Wisconsin's gun deer season a little over a week away. Wisconsin Public Service has an important reminder for hunters. People heading up to their cabins or shacks should be aware of carbon monoxide poisoning. WPS recommends having a working CO and smoke detector and make sure the batteries work. Carbon monoxide is odorless and colorless and can build up to lethal levels in a confined area.
Even charcoal grills will cause carbon monoxide. So if you have that burning inside a small area for too long, it'll take the oxygen out of the air, or if it's not burning properly, and it'll cause carbon monoxide poisoning.
Signs of CO poisoning include headache, dizziness, fatigue, and nausea. Make sure to open windows and doors to prevent the gas from building up in your cabin. The Wisconsin DNR is appealing to hunters this year through social media. They're encouraging hunters to ask them questions and post hunting pictures on the DNR's Facebook and Twitter pages. The department also has a YouTube page with educational videos, and an iPhone app is currently in the works. New at 10, football concussions are a concern from the NFL all the way down to grade school. But is enough being done to protect young athletes? Heather Burke shows us a test parents need to know about in our NBC 26 special report.
The recently passed youth concussion bill is one way Wisconsin lawmakers are protecting kids. If a student has a suspected concussion on the field, the bill requires that player be removed from the game. There's also a new test on top of that to help keep your kids safe.
Right.
After school in West Appear,
Tighten up your splits.
junior Jake Vandenlangberg waits for the whistle
Huddle up.
and becomes
Ready.
a phantom.
You always play together, win together.
But the friendships don't come without risks. Jake suffered a concussion this season.
We were playing Seymour, and I was covering a deep post route, and the guy went down, and one of my own players actually hit me on the top of the head. And then I kind of blacked out, and I don't really remember going to the sideline.
It put him on the sidelines for 2 weeks.
It was very depressing, knowing that I couldn't play the next week.
Now there's a new way to test players before they even step foot on the field. It's called baseline testing. Baseline is a computerized test that measures the athlete's cognitive skills. If an injury occurs, a second test is taken and compared to the first. It helps doctors tell if concussion symptoms exist.
If a patient is coming to see me and they have baseline test results from prior to their injury, that's an advantage to me as a clinician.
We've done a baseline study on every athlete here at West Appear.
West Appear Athletic Director Greg Smith says the district has required all athletes get a baseline test prior to playing for almost 5 years.
I'm certain that there are parents out there who've had children who've suffered a concussion that have not even had a clue that their child has been injured.
And concussions are on the rise. A 2010 study by the Journal of Pediatrics found in recent years, concussions are up 100% for kids ages 8 to 13 and up over 200% for older teens.
I think the reason that we've seen an increase in concussions here this year is just the sheer number of kids who are now educated along with their parents on what to look for.
Researchers at the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin admit baseline tests are only a piece of the puzzle.
But I would caution that it's just a tool. It's not the be-all, end-all. It doesn't tell us are you safe or good to go or not.
That comes down to the trainers and coaches on the front lines, knowing when it's time to pull players from a game, even if they say they feel okay.
It's not the real big hits that the kids take that create the problems. It's all the little smaller hits that kids get.
The injured come to Janine Zemer, a Bellin athletic trainer who treats players around the West Appear School District.
They're dangerous from the fact that if they don't fully recover from a concussion, and then they send them back out, that can be a life-threatening injury.
Meanwhile, Jake's happy he can still wear the black and orange on the field.
It just makes it safer for the players.
Because sitting out those few games could mean a better life on and off the field in the future. Some schools like West Appear offer the baseline test, but it's not in all school districts in Wisconsin at this point. Heather Burke, NBC 26.
A longtime Manitowoc landmark is coming down. These 3 beer bottles, you've probably seen them. They stand in downtown. They've been there for nearly 20 years. But Anheuser-Busch sold its plant last year, and the mayor has ordered the new owners to take them down. The banners will be shipped back to Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis.